Okay, here's another interesting one. I thought I'd start just trying some spicy tech just to see what would happen, and I came across Tezzeret the Seeker. So, I know its mana is 5, but towards those end games, we start to get a lot of mana anyway. And so, what better thing to do than throw out a planeswalker that costs 5 and then just untap 2 target artifacts, or it can X minus whatever to bring in another artifact. And you'll actually see it in this game that I'll play actually in game 2. That's super valuable. So I threw 1 into the main board, taking out 1 Inquisition of Kozilek. So I've just played 3 Inquisitions, 2 Thoughtseizes, and it seemed to work pretty well. I moved that 4th Inquisition over into the sideboard and took out 1 Padim, so I'm just running 1 Padim in the sideboard instead of 2. Which, interesting, Padim came out in both Game 1 and Game 2 and drew some pretty awesome cards. So, I'm slightly changing my opinion on Padim, but let's get to the game so you can see what it was like. So, let me load it up. So this is Game 1, and of all things that I played with this, I played Jeskai Saheeli. Jeskai Copycat. So you can see starting hands are okay, not super awesome. The only reason I kept it was because I had the lantern to turn on Spire for any color that I wanted, and I knew with the lantern I could actually see what's coming up. So I go through here, Inquisition, and dude's got a handful of lightning bolts for me, and a Snapcaster on top of that. So no real way to interact yet, because I'm hoping that he, misses on something with the Snapcaster, or just keeps drawing land. And fortunately, he does keep drawing lands. So I'm able to pull out the second land. He counted my second bell, but that's okay, because now at least I've got some lands coming up. So now I'm not so bone dry going forward. You can see he starts flashing back his lightning bolt. Well, actually, this is a Serum Vision. I wasn't super worried about any creatures that he had, because I knew right away all he had was Snapcaster and a Philidar Guardian, which, let's be honest, isn't going to attack very much, especially with an Avenger's Fair out. Pretty much negates anything. It takes him forever to do any kind of damage, but you'll see it's pretty cool, the interactions that I start doing now with Padim coming up. So at this point, I've definitely got a ton of mana to work with. So he starts attacking with the Philidar Guardian. It's not doing anything because I just gain a life back. Again, my Ancient Stirrings kind of sucked. But I played a Crucible just because I could start just milling away. And if I mill something that I really want, I could just bring it back anyway. So not too bad overall. I probably should have milled here because I could have brought Blooming Marsh back, but I just missed that trigger. So this is where he tries to get Saheeli, and I definitely get rid of that card, because outside of Saheeli, he doesn't have any kind of threat. And then once I lay this bridge out, he's really got no threat going on. And this is our little fight over Saheeli, where he tries to counter his own spell to draw a card. I still have a bell up, so I still take it. And at this point, he's running out of Saheelis. I think they run 3 main board. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. But at this point, I also draw a Pithing Needle and name Saheeli, so it's over. Because he's got no way to counter it. And then I throw up a Tezzeret just for fun, and he just folds at that point. But you can see Jeskai Copycat, or whatever you want to call it in Modern. I'm not 100% sure. Is it Jeskai Saheeli, but whatever. It's definitely not up to power levels that it needs to be. So here we go to Game 2, which is a little bit more fun, because you get to see Padim and Tezzeret in action. So I kept the hand just because I had both, and I had some decent mana. I don't have a whole lot of interaction right now with my opponent, since I don't have any mana except for turn 2. And of course, see, Pithing Needle's my Pixis of all things. So in this where I see he's got the Snapcaster, he's got the Wear and Tear, so I know I expect to see stuff. But the Academy Ruins, basically negates anything going off advantage from the Wear and Tear, so I'm not worried about that at all at this point. Here comes Padim. He takes my bell, but I know he can't counter it because he doesn't have anything in hand. But at this point, Padim's drawing thing is great because it says if you control the highest or tied artifact, draw a card. So I'm basically drawing 2 cards at a time at this point. So throw up another bell, throw out my Crucible, and I'm definitely way ahead on artifact count. And I just start attacking him with 1. Again, not super worried. He can't do anything about my artifacts at all. So he bounces his own needle in the fair, so whatever. Gaining life. Grab that Thoughtseize, which was awesome, because you'll see I'll cast it and take a Saheeli, so he's got nowhere to go at this point. And then even better, cast Tezzeret, X to 1 Pithing Needle, and Saheeli Rai. So really dead in the water. So you can actually see that Padim and Tezzeret both did some pretty awesome work in this thing. I was pretty skeptical of Padim, but he definitely shone through in this and gave me some awesome card advantage. Tezzeret, I haven't played with him a lot yet. This is the first time I actually cast and used him. The second game I've used him actually. But that's just awesome that you can untap 2, so you Codex Shredder 2, throw out Tezzeret, untap those 2, so you're basically milling 4 cards. With just 2 shredders at that point, or 2 bells or whatever you have. And even cooler is that X minus, so you can call up a Pithing Needle for 1. You can call up your bridge if you need to, because he starts out at 4, so you can even keep him around after pulling up a bridge. So you don't have any artifacts greater than 3, so he sticks around quite a bit. And even better, if you really want to, you can -5 him and just start throwing artifacts at your opponent. So, as long as you don't have a bridge on there, all your artifacts turn into 5/5 monsters, like the Ensoul artifact spell does. Anyway, just thought I'd let you see all what's going on with a little bit of brew ID that I have. I looked around for Tezzeret the Seeker to see if he was in any. I didn't come across any decks, at least on Facebook, or I looked a little bit on Reddit. I did not look a whole lot on the MTG Salvation forums. I'll probably do that here in a little bit just to see how they interact. But definitely Tezzeret the Seeker is a fun card for interaction. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you have any comments, feel free to put that down in the YouTube video feed, and I will get back to y'all. Again, anything is appreciated. Have a good night.